Hello and welcome back to the Sword of Truth podcast, a chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a masterful craft brew on the side. I'm Jade and I'm here with Aaron.
Hello!
And only Aaron. And we're just publicly going to give our thoughts, not vote, on chapter 22 of Soul of the Fire.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything wrong with that.
No.
Nothing could possibly go wrong with just giving our thoughts and not voting on it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, being forced to publicly give our immediate thoughts on something in front of the assembled group.
That's why Nate's not here. We gave our thoughts, and Jade and I said, Nate, you go away. And there's no vote.
That's what happened.
Yep.
Actually, Nate went through a portal, and now he's in Florida, but he'll be back very soon. Maybe not before the next episode. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really sure on the portal path, but we'll get back to you on that.
It's canon that Nate likes to throw rocks at things and cause timey-wimey portals to appear.
Exactly.
So this is just one of those cases. And we learned our lesson. We did not go in after him. We just turned around and walked away.
Well,
because, he'll figure it out.
To be fair, I didn't really see him do it, so, I don't know where the portal is.
Oh, that's right. I also, for sure, did not see him do it. Yep.
Exactly. All right. That's, I guess, today's moment of truth, or not so truth. Whatever. What have you.
It's been a moment.
That it has. So we will move right into our recap. Last episode, Dalt proposed a plan to his buds at the table, and we saw that Stein knows how to work people in general.
He's got a high charisma.
Yes. I have realized that this podcast has fallen into making a lot of D&D / Baldur's Gate references just throughout, so it's kind of minorly one of those podcasts. I don't know how you would categorize that, but it is interesting that the more we play, the more annoying we probably get with that on the podcast.
I think we're D&D neighborhood, and then soon it'll be D&D adjacent.
Yeah.
And then, eventually it'll just be we're a let's play. And or a real play.
Yeah.
A real play. Let's play would be watching on Twitch, which is difficult when we only do audio.
Yeah. Well, that would be you having to take the books chapter by chapter and make them into into a campaign chapter by chapter for us. You think you could do that?
No. No. Because my first thought was I immediately was I have sympathy for so many adaptations now, because my first thought was nope, we're trimming that shit down. We're gonna cut a third of the book off the bat.
You're gonna need to work on that.
Yeah,
and
low charisma over here.
Get back to us, okay? Getting to today's chapter, we are still at the fucking feast.
Feasting.
I have never in my life read so many chapters about the same feast, I don't think.
Not with the food still being presented, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like you can have a whole, Pride and Prejudice style, a whole night of intrigue that happens at a feast. It's not all while they're still serving the fucking food.
Yeah.
That's oh no, 6 hours have gone by.
They're having fish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they all came out dressed like fucking sailors and fishermen to present it and everything.
We do know that they have eel. Bert offers some to Hildy. She doesn't like it. She hates it, in fact. And Dalt knows that about her. I just thought that was interesting because her husband apparently doesn't.
Yeah.
Or doesn't care. And Dalt is paying enough attention to everything to know that.
Well, an eel's good for your eel, so it kind of makes sense that she would not be interested in that.
Yeah.
She ain't got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
You know what? You're right. I'm assuming she does not. However, I don't know for sure.
But yeah, no, that's true. It's apparently good, and that's why Dalt takes one just because, Bert says he should.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you want to be a real man, you'll eat the eel.
And the politicalness of it, of the guy that you want to like you told you to grab something. You better fucking grab it.
Yeah.
You figure out how to not eat it if you don't want to after that, but you got to have that on your plate at some point.
Yeah. They also state that this meal is an example of the creator's splendor. It's not about the excess. If everyone's impressed, it's just a side effect. No big fucking deal. And they are also eating porpoise, which is kind of like a dolphin, but not a dolphin, but also illegal.
Is it illegal?
To eat, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fish guy in the first place, so I'm not even aware of the legality of most of those things.
I double checked because I was pretty sure. And I know you can't eat a dolphin. And then I was like, I don't think you can eat porpoises either. And I looked it up, and the only things that they were talking about was people eating them back in 19, or I don't know. I don't want to even give a year because it's going to be wrong. But
more so the traveling days.
Oh, yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah,
and now
wooden
it's
ships.
Yeah. Wooden ships, you know.
Yeah, they were harpooning. We're talking VeggieTale pirates, okay?
You're definitely narrowing down exactly on the years with what you're saying here. I think that everyone has a great grasp. So Dalt and Tess are having a convo about Claudine. Tess doesn't think she's fully broken. She was watching Lynn Scott all night and also watching to see who was watching her. So she's still really on edge. She's not, just sitting there just accepting what's happened. And she did tell other people for protection. So in the first place, she was also kind of looking out for herself. So the problem isn't put to bed, we don't think.
As much as I don't want to give Dalt credit because I don't like the man, this strategy is smart. He purposefully did not tell Tess any backstory. So she goes in, gives a blank slate, full honest opinion of what's going on. That's the only way Dalt was going to know if the plan worked. You probably would think well, you got to share the information with, Dalt and Tess should be sharing what's going on about Claudine. But then that means she couldn't have done this.
Yeah.
Which is, unfortunately, smart.
We've also kind of been told she doesn't like to know too much because she can move in a different way without knowing everything, because then she's not implicated in all of the stuff, and she can ask questions without seeming like she's lying, because she's not.
Because she's not, exactly.
Yeah,
it's 100%. It's so charisma, and then maybe, I don't know if that would be intelligence or wisdom, but probably, from what we've seen so far, pretty high. He must have dumped strength. Strength must have been his dump stat.
No, we know that he's really good with a sword.
That could be dex. It could be a finesse weapon.
I suppose. So Dalt excuses himself, like I kind of feel like doing sometimes when we're hanging out. I'm just kidding. He moves through the room to Claudine and asks how she's holding up.
She's probably holding up fine. She's probably doing great like I am.
Oh, we're having fun. He wants to offer her a business proposition, but makes sure that she says she's up to hearing it first. Since her husband's out of town, she had a little tumble here. He's really just covering his ass so that, you said you were fine.
Mm-hmm.
You said you could handle it, so she can't later come back and be like, oh no, I was devastated and alone.
He's making it to where she's completely cornered in this conversation before they started talking. He had it planned out, if I can get her to say she's fine, she can't then later say she did something under duress. There's people listening. There's always people listening.
Yeah.
At a feast like this.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't like him. I kind of respect him a little bit. And I think for Claudine, it's got to be that she's got to be leaning on the wrong side of the fence right now. I'm sure she's leaning I don't know if I should be doing this. And then to see Dalt just confidently walking over and just start smooth talking. I think he kind of prefaced it when he left. He was like, time to go put the nail in that coffin.
Yeah, he did. We know that in the last chapter, he was kind of talking about a plan to try and put the nail in the coffin, too. So we don't know exactly what he's going to do, but we know he's trying to shut this down.
Yeah.
Officially. The thing he wants to bring up is about the minister's new law. It's to help families in Andereth and kids going without. And he wants to reward her and Edwin for all the shit that they've done, all of the laws they put in place. So it's going to be called the Winthrop Fair Employment Act. It'll seem like they are the ones that have created this.
I think the way it's presented is it's a little bit of both of it was partially their idea, but it's also because of how much these people have done for the whole community, it's in respect of them as well.
Right.
So it's it's a win-win. They help work on it. It's to honor them. It's on the books forever, however their legislation works. Well, actually, we find out how their legislation works very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely smooth talking to make it seem like this is nothing but a win.
This was the minister's idea, but then we're going to present this to the people as something that you helped bring to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
And Claudine is pleased with it at first. She's like, oh, that sounds great. It's on paper, that sounds, or maybe not on paper yet. That sounds like a wonderful deal for us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bert wants to announce it immediately in front of all, well, and I mean, it makes sense, right? The sovereign's here, but also all of the directors as well. So he wants to bring it up in front of everybody, so we can't read it.
If it's good and it's for the community, why would these people deprive the community of this good thing they're going to bring them? That's just downright selfish.
Yeah, I mean, kids are going to starve.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tonight. Yeah, tonight.
Probably not into tomorrow. Oof.
Wow.
Dude, that's what Dalt's saying. That's what Dalt's saying. I've been spending too much time with Dalt. I need to get back to some. Where's Fitch when you need him?
Not here.
Damn it.
After some back and forth, she does agree finally to just letting it go forward with her name on it. And so he heads back to let Bert know. When he gets back there, everybody has a turtle pie. And I just wanted to bring him up because I think we've all heard of like crows and pies, right?
Yeah.
Like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They like score the top and then the birds fly out and it's all like, oh my God. But this is the only time I've ever heard of turtles doing it. And they just like busted out and everyone went, oh, and then they just came around and grabbed all the turtles. And that is so many turtles, first of all. Second of all, do you know what turtles smell like?
Yeah, I've been around quite a few turtles, actually.
I feel like that is weird.
Yeah.
It is a strange thing to bring out in the middle of dinner. Turtles are dirty. And if they're walking all over your shit, it's gonna be gross.
Well, yeah.
Why didn't we put something like bunnies? Listen, it's not good to put any animal in a pie.
No.
Okay?
No.
It's fucked up, right? I feel like there might be better animals to choose that you wouldn't mind.
You know why
popping
not?
Out.
It can't be rabbits, because then you wouldn't know if that was a blueberry or a rabbit poop. It's too dangerous.
You're not eating the pie either way, right? I just thought people who ate swan wings would maybe have a little bit more discretion, but I guess I'd be wrong.
I could very well be in the wrong here. I could. It's only happened once or twice, but I have been wrong before on this podcast. So this could be one of those very rare occasions.
You know what I think we should do? I think that we should take a little break and me and you can go over all the times that you've been wrong on the podcast.
Oh, so we're done recording today?
And then we can have a little beer and be right back. Hey, Aaron, what are you drinking?
Today, we are drinking CEO Stout from Right Brain Brewery. It is a stout brewed with real coffee beans, and we are clocking in at 5.5%. And after a long day at the office, the world's best boss kicks back with a glass of CEO Stout brewed with chocolate malt, locally roasted beans. This coffee oatmeal stout transport you from the cubicle to the corner office. Oh, and then it does say keep beer curious at the bottom, which
that's Right Brain's thing.
I feel like it might be slightly problematic because I kind of want to know what my beer is going in. The CEO Stout, it's a beautiful stout. It's got a beautiful coffee taste. I am digging the hell out of this.
Yeah. I think it's real good. I think that it's probably the right choice that they went with being like, you should have it after work and it can transport you from the cubicle to the... I probably would have gone with, yeah, it's coffee. Drink it before you go to work and you're going to feel like a fucking CEO all day, even if you're doing shitty.
And then, you spend the rest of the day feeling like a CEO.
You're going to be a fucking boss. I bet you that.
I think I'm going to give this... I think I'm giving it 8 out of 10 CEOs. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 15-minute breaks.
I will also, I think, probably give it an 8 out of 10 blazers.
That's a good one. 8 out of 10 blazers.
She's got shoulder pads, bud.
Good. Because that's what powerful CEOs do.
Yeah. exactly.
I think that's how I feel about this. That sounds like that's how you feel about it.
Yeah.
You want to maybe hop back in?
Yeah. And we're back.
Oh, I interrupted you.
Yeah, what a dick. It's fine. We're back. I think they get the point. They've heard us now.
Sound effect.
Spoiler, we're here.
We're back.
So Bert stands. By the way, I feel like you know this, but Bert is the minister. I feel like I may have just started calling him that exclusively and never really fully addressed that. But Bert, minister, stands, speech. That's the point of what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, Bertrand Chambor, otherwise known as Bert Chan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So his speech essentially, work to be done. Tons of people who can work, but they're unskilled. He's announces the name of the law and makes Claudine stand to be appreciated for her help in creating it. This is kind of what we were talking about before. He explicitly says that she had a hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Dalton, while Bert is giving the speech, has a little tiny thought about how Bert is so good at pouring the sauce on the meat that he gives him, and I liked that a lot.
If you make a good cake, that's fantastic. But when you can get the frosting and you can start doing the decorations and, say it like a good steak, cooking a good steak's good. You get a good mushroom sauce on top of that. Oh, good gravy. Oh.
You got a good piece of bread? You put bread.
Look, this is what I'm telling you. You get you a piece of bread.
Oh,
and then you go get you another piece of bread.
Gosh.
And you put that piece of bread on top of that piece of bread.
No, you put both pieces of bread in the... this is where I was going. It was intentional. You get both pieces of bread, and you toast them, and then you put butter on them. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Oh, damn it. Okay, yeah, but you get the point. He is given the base, the meat and the potatoes, and he knows how to sauce it all up and make it awesome.
Yeah.
And that's his skill. Maybe not really anything else other than that. It seems like, from what we've been told, he has charm and sauce.
Sometimes it's the delivery.
Yeah.
Pick a sentence, pick whatever sentence in your head. Say it happy, say it sad, say it monotone. That might be 3 different sentences. How you convey something, it matters, especially in public office.
So you saw that video on Facebook too, then?
Uh-oh, which one?
There's a video of somebody saying the same sentence 4 different ways.
Oh,
and
no.
Being I think it's, I didn't tell her to steal the money.
Oh, I mean, I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't tell her to steal the money. I didn't tell her to steal the money.
Yeah,
I didn't tell her to steal the money. I didn't tell her to steal the money.
If you're I gotta say this with emphasis. If you put the emphasis in all the wrong spots, you're not going to be a very good public leader.
Right.
Because, this is very important. It's an important skill.
Yeah.
And you hope good people have these kind of skills.
Yeah, you do. So, yeah, this law is going to ensure employment goes to everyone, not just the closed Masons Guild. It puts more people to work, basically, and it will lower the cost to the people of Andereth, is what Bert is saying here. He's trying to emphasize that this is a good thing for the people of Andereth overall.
Yeah, the Masons are a guild, and so there is a guild price. At least when you do that, you have the peace of mind of okay, but everything has been built by the guild. Nothing's fallen down. That
is a point that it's made a little bit later. That's not really said out loud, but it is a point that is made that skilled workers are more expensive, but they know their shit, so it's going to be a sound job.
Yeah, more expensive up front. Unskilled labor, cheaper up front, more expensive in the long run.
Yeah, because your shit's just going to crack apart, You get a whole bunch of houses built real fast all over the place, and all of a sudden you've got fucking leaking in everybody's basement because there's not good building materials or whatever.
You don't know there's a mistake until it's too late.
Oh, yeah.
It's why it's probably not a good idea to go with the lowest bidder. Sometimes you want to go for a middle to high bidder because there's a reason they're charging what they're charging. And unfortunately, there's people who also charge an exorbitant amount, and it's a scam as well.
Yeah.
So.
But unfortunately, the get what you pay for is a saying for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Reason. Okay.
I think that's that Anderith accent.
Yeah.
I've been spending a lot of time with these people.
That's what we're going with. I can definitely speak correctly. It's fine, guys. Okay. But Lynn Scott, surprise, pissed because he is the director of... He's a director, but he's the leader in the Masons Guild.
He's a guild master.
That's it.
He's one of the guild masters, or he's the guild master, but then he's one of the directors of the other labor markets.
He's one of the directors of Anderith, help make the laws.
Yeah.
So the minister calls all of the assembled directors to immediately raise their hands and publicly give support for the people and children of Anderith.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you all to say right now that you're willing to do this for everybody. This is good for everyone because they can have work, they can feed their kids.
Yeah. Why would we wait to help people?
Yeah.
Why would we wait for a vote?
And listen, this isn't a vote, but we want the people of Anderith to see where your hearts lie.
Yeah.
And that it's with them, right?
Yeah. This was the show of support in public.
Yeah.
So that way, if you are voting one way or the other, the public knows.
The other thing that's not happening here is that minister is giving a very propaganda-y version of what the law is.
Yeah,
right?
This is going to help all the children.
Right. He's only giving you his side that it's going to be good. It's all of these reasons. There is nobody who's able to first, read the law and read exactly what it says for people. And second, even Lynn Scott isn't really given a chance here to express why it may be a bad idea prior to the directors giving their support. So they don't even have a chance to hear why it might be a bad thing before saying, yes, we think it's a good thing. So if they do end up finding out it's a bad thing prior to the vote and they vote against it, all of the people here are going to think that they're shitbags. The issue is you don't have all the facts to truly give your support one way or the other, and you're being forced to do it or look like an asshole right now.
It was presented with all that sauce.
Right.
That's why you need that performer. It's why marketing exists as a business. You got to know how to sell stuff. You got to know how to put it out in the public. They know how to put things out in the public. Clearly, based on what we've seen so far, read so far, this is purely just good.
Yeah.
This is great. More jobs. That's always good.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Less hungry children. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
win-win.
Infuriating if you do know the other facts and you watch somebody doing this in public and you can't dispute it until it's already out there and it gets to spin around, and then that's the fact, even though you know.
And the timing of when this happens in the feast. Everyone's got nice full belly. Everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's been drinking.
Yeah.
Pure emotion. I mean, it's, hey, this sounds great. Absolutely. Why wouldn't we do this?
Yeah.
I've made a lot of drunken plans that sound really good that night.
Right. Yeah. No, me never. I never. But Lynn Scott does object. He's like, hey, guys, this is not right. We should not do this. We don't have time. We should read the law. All right? Sovereign steps in. He's like, no, the people here should know the thoughts of the other directors. And Lynn Scott's like, fuck.
The vibe of the room is clear. Lynn Scott is in the minority.
Yes.
Because this is, again, clearly, this has been presented as a pure win for everyone. Except maybe the Masons Guild. But greater good. And we kind of know Lynn Scott is a man of that philosophy. He
is. But this is something that is going to affect him specifically more than anybody else in the room.
Yeah.
So this law is a death sentence to his guild.
100%.
And the rest of the directors do know, whether they're a guild master or not, that this is putting them on notice. This was brought up in public in this way so that they know if they ever piss off the minister, a law like this could come in their direction and they could be cut off at the knees as well. If you piss them off by maybe not raising your hand right now.
The minister proposed a really good thing at dinner last night. Hey, Mr. Leader of my community, How come why didn't you like that?
Yeah.
Why that was going to help me? Why didn't you like that?
Yeah.
I don't remember all the details. I was drunk, but
Yeah.
all I remember is you voted against the good thing.
Yeah.
It's a hell of an uphill battle.
And if you're another guild master, it's very obviously like...
That's the death of a guild.
Yeah.
That simple. One feast is all it took.
Yeah.
It creates you can't be at the bottom of that list now. There's
Yeah.
only 4 guilds and you can't be the 4th. So if that minister comes asking anything of you, you better be saying yes, because if you're at the bottom of that list, you got to believe you're on the chopping block.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So now it's a race to the top of the minister's favor, not a race to the top of who can do best for the community.
Yeah. Or protect their people.
Yeah.
I guess. The
Yeah.
best.
If it can happen to one person, it probably could happen to the next.
It probably will. That's the thing. Once it happens to one, they may not realize it, but it's probably going to happen to all of you because, well, we realize that the Mason Guild is just taking people's money, so let's just get rid of the fucking other guilds, right?
Farmers Guild.
Yes.
Traders Guild.
We had a list of them like 2 chapters ago, and I definitely remember all of them, but we're just going to keep going. But the guild does take care of their members. They set rates, they set standards, and this is going to destroy skilled wages and the guild itself. And so Linscott is going to lose his career because everybody in the guild is going to say, fuck you, you destroyed this, and they're going to vote him out tomorrow before the guild even actually falls apart. Because this is happening under his watch.
He'll get the full disgrace of he was the last person fired, before they disbanded.
Right.
So it's like he has that double negative instead of just like, well, my guild fell apart. I didn't have anything to do with it. It's like, no, I was fired because my guild was going to fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And Claudie knows this.
Yeah.
So, in the end, work is going to, like you were saying, work is going to be more expensive because people do a sound job and they know their job.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, the directors raise their hands. All 11 of them except Linscott. He leaves Daring Glaggers. Glaring daggers at Claudine. He would never listen to a word she says now, so that's fucking taken care of for Adult. And the Sovereign at this point wants Stein to speak because I think he's getting sleepy. He's old and he's ready to be done.
It's been a long night.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of food and a lot of wine and a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
It's tiring.
Yeah. I don't blame him.
No. No.
So Stein does stand. He compares people with magic to the guild. He's like, they're controlling people's destinies. They're keeping the masses in check with their magic. And people shouldn't fear them. They should only fear and worship the great creator. Nobody else. His cape is made of the scalps of those gifted people. Now we know that it's not just random people. He's killing magic people and putting them in his cape, so that's cool.
That's one word to describe it.
Yeah, he's got a collection, though,
Yeah.
He's collecting the rares. The Imperial Order is taking credit for ending the magic that separated the New World and the Old World. I don't know if we knew that for sure, but it seems kind of like we know that they're shitty, right? But it just seems like one more shitty thing that they're like, oh, we did that. When we know that Richard did that and they just like walked through and did nothing.
It's unfortunately, it is the thing though of general public. No, they have no idea.
Yeah.
They just know that they're gone. And then this group of people who said, we're getting rid of magic, said they got rid of magic. And now they said they're here to keep getting rid of magic. They clearly have proven their point that they can do those things and should be followed. So yeah, it's hard not to see truth with the absence of fact.
Now listen, we are working on a very tight timeline since the beginning of this series. But it does feel like there should have been a couple of like announcements
100%
sent out through the world.
Yeah.
Like maybe when Dark and Rawl died, there should have been one stating he's the Lord Rawl, and then when he got back after the thing, he should have been like, I destroyed the towers. Hey, just so you know.
Send out a missive because I'm in charge.
Right.
Preparing the borderlands that there might be an invasion soon.
Right.
Because there's no more magic barriers around you.
Right. And then being like, hey, I'm going to fuck off for a little while and go bang my wife.
Which, you know.
you're
Fair.
allowed to do.
Yeah, fair.
But, like, announce your wedding to everybody. Like, everyone found out about his wedding. So, like,
Yeah.
I feel like he could have written a newsletter.
I mean, a newsletter's... I don't want to keep going on this because then people will be like, well, how come you guys don't have a newsletter?
We'll talk more about that. We're going to take a little break, and me and you will brainstorm if that's a good idea or not, and then we'll come back and never talk about it again.
Works for me.
And we're back!
Hello.
So Stein is, like, also letting everyone know that now is the time to end magic, because obviously the creator agrees too, because less and less people are being born with it, so obviously he wants us to murder all the magic people, right?
Yeah,
makes sense.
I saw you stay step 1, and then you proposed step 2. That's an absolute normal step to take.
Yeah. So Imperial Order does not want to fight or force Andrith to take up arms and be a part of this whole shit, but if they are standing with Rich and his army, they will destroy everybody.
Yeah.
So, like, it's up to you. You could either not die or you could die.
If you stand with Dick, you're going to get pounded.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Marketing.
Exactly. I just want to say that the only reason that the nickname that Rich slipped by and that we were able to just call him Dick is, I think, because Nate's not here.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if I called him Rick, if he would like it.
Only one way to find out.
Or Rick Roll.
I feel like Rick's a good, strong name.
And Rick Roll kind of sounds like Rick Roll, which we could have fun with. Anyways, okay. So all the Imperial Order is asking of Andorith is to trade. Well, actually just sell all of their shit to the Imperial Order at double the price. Double the highest price. So they don't gotta lift a sword at all. Just give us all your shit and we'll give you money.
Do what you want to do anyway.
Yeah.
With a better return, and then we won't kill you.
Right.
Any questions?
Yeah.
No.
Win, right?
Yeah, sounds great. Why, I mean, but like, we're speaking in jest a little bit. But in all honesty, why wouldn't you do this?
This is, again, just like the law that was proposed a moment ago.
Yeah.
All sounds great. If nobody is standing there telling you the other side of it, it seems wonderful. Why would you not do it?
We know the other side of it. The other side of this is Richard saying, stand with me or die.
Yeah.
The other side is
Richard.
Richard.
I thought was a great idea, let me tell you.
Making demands of these people. Not offering them any kind of reward. I think he even said, your food's going to go to the army. Like, you will contribute.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? I think that was part of those terms a little bit.
Yeah.
Now these people are saying, we're not going to take anything. We're just going to give you more gold.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, not kill you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
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 And you don't have any evidence that they're going to do anything but what they say. And to be fair, we do know that even if people have video evidence, they don't always listen to it.
Yeah.
So
it's a tough one.
It's not for them.
It's tough for the common folk because, it's tough because it's so easy.
Yeah.
There's no reason to even think that, well, what if?
You don't have to think, and that's great, right? You don't want to think.
Yeah.
And you want it to be good.
Yeah.
I don't have to think, and this is the right thing. So the Sovereign is tired, and he's like, thank you, the feast can resume, we can all keep fucking eating, we're done with the brain stuff for right now. So, we kind of are too. Sort of. We're gonna go into our wizards, notes, and prophecies area. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Aaron, you had something to say.
I had something to say. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that I think an important part here, earlier in this chapter when we were talking about the fallout of the destructions of the Masons Guild, that it was going to be more expensive in the long term, and that it's putting unskilled labor doing unskilled jobs, or doing skilled jobs and having unskilled results. And that is bad. That was all from Dalton. So if everything else he said in his thoughts and stuff is like, this is truly what he believes, because it's his inner thoughts.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that as an author. You wouldn't have your character's inner thoughts that no one else hears be a lie. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that means that this is true. Getting rid of an organization that has set a standard protects the people within the organization and helps the people around by like having a higher, lower tolerance for things. Getting rid of something like that is bad, is what Dalton is telling us right now.
I think it depends on your character. And I think because Dalton is a businessman.
Yes.
And he is thinking this in his own brain, then it is true. Like if Fitch thinks something that he can think something that is not true is true in his brain because he's kind of stupid, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but Dalt thinking this is because he's a businessman. If this was
the the back and forth POV between Fitch and Dalton, it would probably be where we would never hear Dalton's inner thoughts. We would hear them speaking, and then it would be Fitch's inner thoughts to prove the point of like, oh, everything's good. Oh, this is great. Yeah, I could have been a builder instead of a kitchen boy all these years. Yeah. But I couldn't because they wouldn't let me in the guild. This is great for me. But no, we get Dalton's point of view, and his point of view is telling us, oh, by the way, this is actually going to be bad long term.
Yeah.
But we're all not going to be here by the time that happens, so we don't care. We're going to have short-term profits.
Well, he's not going to feel it because he's up here.
That too. That too.
And this is serving him politically because it's crushing Lynn Scott, and that's all that really fucking matters.
His house is already built.
Yeah.
His horse is tied to Bert's. Bert's in line.
I thought we were talking about an actual horse. I thought you were going to say some shit like his horse is tied to a very well-built,
well-made cart.
And then you said his horse is tied to Bert's. And I was like, is Bert's horse tied up well?
No, Dalton's metaphoric horse is tied metaphorically to Bert.
I got you.
Bert is in line for a promotion. Everything that's happened is going to help Dalt and get him into a position where he'll be in a building that was made by the Masons Guild. So he doesn't care about the new construction.
Exactly.
He's solid. He's good. We know most of you have read these books, whether or not you're reading them again with us or you're going off of memory. Just want to make sure that this is not...
You're just trusting our word.
Yeah, this is not us speculating what will happen. That's Dalt telling us what is going to happen.
Right.
So, not so much of a prophecy, but more of a wizard note.
So that's our truth. And we would love to hear yours. Write to us in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com or find us on any of our social meets.
Glug, glug, glug.
If you would like to support this podcast and hear some more exclusive content, find us over on patreon.com/podcastatt, where every tier is a happy tier. Whee! Yeah. Woo! Thank you all for listening. We'll see you real soon.
This is so weird. We've done this before, and I'm pretty sure we fucked up that one. No, I should clarify. I fucked it up by calling it out now. We could have just went through.
Yeah, you could have just said your thing.
Yeah, so anyway, bye. Cheerio.
Yeah, you even said it wrong then. So, the newsletter is just going to be all the shit that you've said wrong on the podcast to date. Like, weekly. We'll just do, like, a small part of me tweet, because there's, like, the list we made was pretty long.
I just realized I'm not going to have the time. I'm pretty booked up right now. Hey, Puck.
He can help.
He's the one who made the list.
Mm-hmm.
Puck, you fuck.